All right, so hey, what's up, guys? I'm back. So the audio was a little messed up on the last one. So, oh wait, now the camera's jacked up. Oh man. So the audio was messed up on the last one. So I was like, you know what? I'll just redo it. I could use the practice anyway. So I'm gonna basically do the last stream I did, but try to remember the stuff I said. All right, but compounding. So I'm gonna start it off with a story. All right, so this was early fall, and I was walking my daughter to the bus stop, and we're just kind of hanging out at the bus stop, and getting ready to go to school. And then I look down and I see like a pile of pine needles, and I'm like, just goofing around, just joking around with my daughter. And I asked her, "Hey, how many pine needles do you think there are on the ground?" And she's good, you know. She looked at it and she was like, I don't know. like realizing that, like realizing that it was basically a pointless question I was asking her. But she was a good sport. Anyway, so like fast forward like 3 to 4 weeks, right? And we're like visiting family in like a different state. And so because it was a long drive, my wife suggested that we should stop by the state park because she noticed that there was a sign and that, you know, it was a state park nearby, and we should just, you know, get the kids out, give them a break because it was a long ride. And so I was like, yeah, sounds good. You know, I was chilling. And we get out of the van and then we just kind of walk down the path. And I noticed like a pile of pine needles. And then so I look down the pine needles and I'm like instantly like teleported and into the memory of like my daughter a few weeks back when I asked her how many pine needles there were. And so I thought the same thing there, and I was like, oh man, there's a lot more in this pile, you know, because we're in like a state park. It's kind of like a forest situation going on, you know? And then I was like, oh man, I wonder how many pine needles there are in this park. So then I kind of got a little like lightheaded, and I was like, man, there's a lot. And then so I took it even further, and I was like, I wonder how many pine needles there are from this park to the bus stop back home. So from like the state I'm in now to the state my home is in. And then I just got like wicked dizzy because I was in like a meditative state, and I was just kind of really focused on this question, like trying to visualize it. And I couldn't come up with an answer. Or like, I wasn't trying to. I was just kind of like thinking of the idea of it, I guess. And yeah, that's when I kind of realized like the power of compounding and how it's like so inherent and built into the structure of nature. And I can't even remember when, but I read this book on like compounding. I think it was like called The Compounding Effect. And you know, he talked about like Warren Buffett's wealth and how it's the result of compounding an entire lifetime. And that was basically my that was basically what I thought about for, I don't know, like a month. I was just looking for like um, other ways nature compounds, and so I was just looking at trees and like plants and like my peppers growing, and I realized that there's, you know, certain patterns to them. Like it starts off with this little branch, right? And then and then the branch grows. And what is it? what's the first thing it does? It bifurcates. So it bifurcates, and then perpetuates its form, and then bifurcates and perpetuates its form, and it keeps doing that until you have like this huge plant, and it's basically just compounding its form. And so then I was just looking for other ways, like nature just kind of naturally compounds, because, you know, the reality is if you can use it as a tool to help you out in like business or systems or like investments, then you can perpetuate whatever you want much quicker. And so I realized that thoughts did the same thing. For instance, if you have like a negative thought about yourself, or like a certain negative idea that, like, I don't know, maybe I'm not smart enough, right? And so say that thought comes in your head, oh, you're not smart enough. And then so now you keep repeating that idea, and you repeated it so much to the point where you're now emotionally attached to that negative thought. And now you're looking for ways that you're looking for like external validation that confirms that you're really not that smart. And so what that's really doing is compounding on that initial negative thought. And so thoughts compound too. And so, that was also like a moment where I kind of realized that damn, negative thoughts really are extremely like bad too, because it can just compound throughout the years and then become this, you can just become like really bitter, crazy insecure about whatever it is, that negative thought, whatever that negative thought is. And yeah, so it's just everywhere. It's a powerful force. And I was gonna quote like Einstein, because I'm pretty sure he said something about compounding, but I don't even know if Einstein said it, or if it was like on a meme. And I don't want to quote a meme, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was something I was thinking about for a while, and I still think about it every now and then. But at that time, it was like really intense, and I was just it just consumed me. Like that was all I thought about. And so I was trying to think about like ways, or like I said, systems, and that I could possibly implement that would have that element in it that could help me out. I mean, shoot, even when I set up this dude on Outriders, I was like, alright, so when I make a shot, how can I have an extra shot with it? So like compound the amount of damage I do on the character. And guess what? It worked. That's why you see the green missiles that come out of the I'm like talking about this game. See the green missiles that are flying off the dudes right there? Boom, it's like compounded shots. It's huge, man. Shoot, even like credit card debt. That's a negative compounder, but it compounds. It compounds against you. That's why, like, if you have a problem with credit card debt, it's like hard to get out of it, because unless you have something that compounds in your favor, then it's basically impossible to get out of, unless you cut it off completely, or like I said, you have something else that compounds that would like kind of negate that negative compounding effect. But anyway, yeah, so that's basically what I wanted to talk about compounding. I mean, like, I could go on forever. talking about it because it really is like it's everywhere, and it's a fun topic to kind of like just think about. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. These streams annoy you, let me know. If you want me to keep doing this, let me know. But either way, hope you guys have a great day, great week, and I'll see you next week, alright?